Greetings and welcome to another garage update video. Today I have several items to cover both on the Focus RS and on the Mini JCW, so let's get started. And since I'm standing right here and the bonnet just happens to be open on the Focus RS and there are some interesting items sitting right here, this is where I am going to start. So I get a bit closer and you see these are from RJH Autostyle and they are the replacement bonnet bumper thingies. Right here, as you can see, the stock ones are black and they are rubber. They do degrade over time. They're very soft and squishy from stock, and obviously they are just black. I mean, if you want to get black ones, RJH Autostyle can hook you up with black and a whole array of colors. I wasn't even too sure which colors to go for. There were so many available, but I narrowed it down to two. I narrowed it down to the nitrous blue option, which is super cool, and the red option. The red option because I have this sort of red under bonnet theme going on here, so I thought red might be cool to match in with those bits. And the installation of these is super easy, super quick, super simple. They literally just like peel off. You can see that they're like this sort of flat thing that fit up into the middle of the rubber bump stop. So yeah, the installation then is obviously the exact reverse of that. We just kind of have to like wrap them around. Okay, I'm going to give the red ones a go and see how they look, but yeah, they certainly feel like nice and stiff, certainly by comparison to the really squishy rubber stock ones, so these will perform that little bit better and are just a nice, easy, simple replacement. So just sort of get it on and like wrap it around and it kind of clicks on. Nice. So I'll just do that with this other one. Pow. There we go. Simple as that. So I'll just move these other items out of the way. I think that looks pretty cool. Of course I have the blue ones as well now if I want to switch over. So what do you think? Does the red suit it? Should I switch over to the blue? What do you think? Let me know down below. Alright then, continuing with the Focus. So obviously I am now in the interior of the car and I have done a little thing that I think is pretty cool. It's a styling upgrade, you might say. It's something that I did quite recently, just after I was doing the work with the power-based speakers. And I'm not sure, you might be able to see it over my arm here, but the upgrade is to the caps on the inside of the doors. So get a nice close-up view for you here. What we have here is really nice suede, aka alcantara, that also has this stitching, this blue stitch right here. This is made and supplied by a company over in England and they are cut to shape and size. I mean, they're a bit of a pain, I won't lie, to get installed, which is part of the reason why I didn't do a whole video on it. But anyway, yes, the final product is done and obviously I've got it on all of the doors, including around the back, if it would focus for me. So over there and over here as well. Made from genuine leather, then it has a nice foam cushioned underneath bit. Of course, from stock, these bits up here are just really plasticky, which is obviously quite a cheap feeling material, whereas this now is really premium feeling and really premium looking. And I went for specifically the black suede with the blue stitch because in the door already we have black leather with blue stitch. And then if I switch over to the seat, which I'm obviously sitting in, it has the black leather with blue stitch and then it has alcantara inserts in the middle. So I was really kind of trying to match up these two bits with these two bits of the seat, and I think it really does work and I'm very happy with it. So I hope you like that too. I think it's a really nice styling upgrade that just like elevates the quality of the interior of the Focus RS. Interior quality is, you know, possibly something that, you know, some people complain about from time to time with regards to the Focus RS. The money that you pay for the RS is for performance and, you know, less so on like interior materials and things like that. So just adding this bit just raises that up and just ticks even more boxes in the sort of desirable categories of the car, and I think it's great. Yeah, cool. Alright, next thing then is with regards to speakers. So very recently I upgraded the door speakers down here in all 4 doors, and also of course the tweeters in all 4 doors, to the power base upgrades, as well as doing a bunch of dynamite in behind the doors, which is a really good upgrade. But there's one more thing that's an absolutely free mod to do that has been suggested to me to improve the sound quality just that little bit more. Specifically what people describe as improving the sound stage. And that is to disconnect a tiny little center speaker that is located underneath the cluster of gauges up here. What we need to do then is basically to pop this out, and it comes up sort of directly upwards, and there's like clips along the front here, so we want to get our trim tool and just kind of pop it up. There we go. So then with this pop up, we should be able to lift it up enough. Yeah, and you can see right here, we have another speaker which looks, for all intents and purposes, the exact same as the tweeters. So it's just this tiny, tiny little speaker. So yeah, I mean, it has just very simply the same clip. So we just push that in and then pull it out. And then I've seen a bunch of people just dropping this cable down in there. I might like sort of tape it to the underside of this like foamy bit, just in case I want to grab it in the future. Right, first step then, I've used some of this loom tape to wrap up the connector so that it doesn't, like, you know, if it hits off anything, you're not going to hear it. Just in case it comes loose, but I am going to wrap some around here right now to try and hold it in place. There we go then, so that is our little connector hidden nice and neatly out of the way, not going to rattle on anything. So essentially we just need to then line this all back up and then push down on all these clips, and then that will be this done. Done. There we are then, that was quick, easy and simple. What people are talking about in terms of sound stage, it's kind of like the 3D space created by the sound, and by removing that center speaker, it's gonna just sort of lower it down and stop interfering with the sound that's being produced by our nice power base speakers. Let's fire it up and see. Have to be pretty careful with the any copyrighted music that's being played. So yeah, I mean, all I can really say is the sound is excellent. Now I'm super duper happy with this setup. Like, I don't even really feel a need for, you know, going to the hassle of trying to add like a different subwoofer and stuff. You know, I am, dead happy with how it sounds. So yes, that is cool. That is everything that's going on with the Focus RS. So to finish off this video, moving on to the Mini. I've already got it ready here. We have this item. So this is from Craven Speed over in America, and essentially it is a device mount. So basically making use of some free space up here to allow us to mount something like our phone. Down in here, there's no real great place to put your phone. For example, like my phone doesn't really fit very well into the cup holder, and there's not much like support for it down in there. So this is just a really nice solution to be able to mount the phone really seamlessly and integrate it with our dash, and it's just going to allow us to have our phone really handy, and it's going to look really cool as well. Made by Craven Speed with very high quality materials. This is very solid metal. Everything about this just screams high quality. It comes with little magnetic things that you can use if you need to. It comes with your required hardware, so these are little extended screws and washers, and then the little adjustable ball end head thing that is of course magnetic and allows you to adjust, and it's very magnetic. Easy peasy. Oof. Yeah, look how strong it is. So that's great. You want it to be nice and strong so that, if you hit a speed bump, your phone isn't going to just go flying. Once it's in place, then we can just use this Allen bolt and nut and adjust this arm up and down, so you can get a lot of control with that in combination with this articulating. So in terms of fixing this into place, you can see that there are 3 fixing points, and we have these like sort of circular bits, and those line up with the gauge cluster up here, so you can see the sort of circly bits, and if you reach around, I can feel a screw here, here and here, which matches up exactly with these, and then these little notch things will go like into the existing holes, and then we'll get our extended screws in there, tighten them up, and it will just look like it's an integrated part of the car. So let's get started. Now, getting at these screws, like you can see just how difficult it is to get at that one. The middle one's probably okay, and then that one around this side as well is pretty awkward to get at. I mean, obviously I can touch it with my hands, but as far as getting like a screwdriver in there, because these are Phillips head screws, it's essentially like impossible unless you have a screwdriver that's like this size. But even if you did, getting a torque on that is going to be next to impossible. So what we need to do is we need to loosen our gauge and sort of bring the gauge out a bit so that we can get access to the screws, get our new accessory in place, and then tighten this back up. In order to do that, there are just a couple of little torque screws underneath, and they require a T20. I've got a bendy screwdriver here, probably don't need the bendy one, but you know, it just, because these are kind of in at a bit of a funny angle, it can help. There we go, you can see those little torque screws, and there's another one at the other side. So now what we can do, if we just grab the cluster, you can see it can now come forward and we can get access to those screws. So yeah, I've got a short screwdriver here. Just want to get these out. So there you can see one of our old screws versus our nice new extended screws with our washers in place. So yes, now it's just a simple case of lining this up and getting the screws back in. If we look around the back, then you can just see how much of a perfect and easy peasy fit that was. So now we can push our gauge cluster back into place and get those little torque screws back in. Alright, now that that is nice and solidly in place, we can finish off. So we obviously have to get our little magnetic holder thing on here, but first you can see I've got an 11mm spanner here, and also I have a 4mm Allen key, which is what fits in the front there, to loosen and to tighten this so that we can adjust our arm. I need to loosen this and move this arm just down a bit, and then it should be in a pretty good location. So there we go, you can see I adjusted it down. Very, very quick, very easy, very simple to do. I sort of lined it up roughly with the line of the top of the dash here. But obviously once I have the installation entirely done, it's very easy to adjust and just do whatever I want with it going forward in the future. It takes like literally seconds just to do that. So I think that's a good starting point. So now let's get that magnetic end on here. So this is pretty simple. All we need to do is like loosen this screw at the back here. So stop before it comes all the way off, and then we literally just push it onto the end here. Ooh. With the screw end like sort of kind of loose, you can see I can move it quite easily. That means that we are in like sort of adjustability mode. So, you know, you can just move it around wherever you want it to be, and then whenever you're happy with it, just tighten that at the back. And then that's it in place. Alright, cool. So last thing to do then is to give it a try. So got my phone here. Boom, easy. Obviously, like, it's very strong magnetism, which is obviously exactly what you want. can sit and tap it and it doesn't fall off. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Short of doing a little bit more adjustment just to get that in the exact right position that I want it to be in, that is installation complete. Well, there we go then. That is the latest garage update complete. Doing little small bits with the RS and indeed with the Mini JCW, all of which are small but significant, and I really like all of them. So I hope you like all of those too. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and we'll get a little conversation going. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe for more content to come very, very soon. Thank you once again. Goodbye.